These are life hacks for your first apartment. If you want to put blackout curtains up, but don't want to drill a hole in your wall, because like bye-bye security deposit, look for one of these brackets. It screws right onto the blinds that are already in your apartment. These are the ones that I got personally. Super easy to put a curtain rod and curtains up on it. We all know these cheap blinds are doing nothing. Then you got blackout curtains for your bedroom, or fancy curtains for your living room. Your life hacks for your first apartment. Part 2. Do you know you're supposed to change the direction of your ceiling fan in the summer and the winter? I didn't. There's a little switch here on your ceiling fan. It's gonna change it rotating from counterclockwise to clockwise. In summer, you want it to move counterclockwise to push cold air down at you. But in the winter, because hot air rises, it'll push the hot air that's stuck at the top out and down the walls. It'll make your room a lot cozier and save you some cash on the heat bill. Your life hacks for your first apartment. Part 3. Chances are your apartment's gonna have white walls. Landlords love white walls. It's like catnip for them. Usually painting's not allowed. But if you want to add a little personality to your space with an accent wall, you can get a roll of peel and stick wallpaper. You can do a solid color or a cool design. It sticks right to the wall. And when you're ready to move out, you can just peel it right off the wall, but like slowly. It's a great affordable way to add some personality to your space. Your life hacks for your first apartment. Part 4. You're the kind of person that just uses a sponge and then throws it in the sink until next time. It's growing a ton of bacteria. The next time you use it, you're just rubbing that bacteria all over your plate. People are like, doesn't the soap you're using cancel it out? No, it's all up in the crevices and then it pops out when you squeeze the sponge like a game of bacteria whack-a-mole. You can easily clean your sponges and here's how to do it. You can throw it in the microwave and microwave it for 2 minutes and it'll kill all the bacteria. Make sure the sponge is wet when you put it in the microwave, otherwise, you know. Life hacks for your first apartment. Part 5. You have a pet and your furniture constantly looks like this, but you can't kick this guy off the couch. Look how comfortable he is. Just take a window squeegee, yeah, for real, and use the rubber part on the carpet or furniture. It'll clean all the fur up like magic. And put it in a little ball so it's easy to vacuum up. We all know those stupid little tape things do not work. Life hacks for your first apartment. Part 6. You get into your first apartment and the water pressure in the shower is really bad, but it's fine in the sink. Shower head probably has a water restrictor in it. It's this little plastic piece that restricts water flow in your shower head, and it can be really annoying if you're trying to have a nice hot shower. To check for it, unscrew your shower head, and if you see a plastic piece like this, you can remove it with tweezers so the water flow is no longer restricted and you can enjoy a nice hot shower. These are life hacks for your first apartment. Part 7. You're the kind of person that misplaces things a lot. Where did I put my keys? Next time, try this. When you set your phone, keys, or wallet down, verbally say out loud where you put it. If you have a roommate, you may want to tell them ahead of time that you're going to do this. My phone is on the dresser. My keys are in the oven. I am turning the curling iron off. Verbally saying it out loud engages a lot more parts of your brain, and you're way more likely to remember where you put what you're looking for. Life hacks for your first apartment. Part 8. You drop a glass and it shatters on the ground. You're having trouble sweeping up all the little pieces. Go to your pantry and grab a piece of bread. Yeah, bread. Press it on the floor or carpet, over top all the tiny little glass pieces. So pick them up like a magnet. Just make sure to wear gloves. Don't get the glass shard piece of bread mixed up with one you're gonna make a PB&J with. It's a topping you don't want on your sandwich. Life hacks for your first apartment. Part 9. Your sink is constantly getting clogged with beard hairs, long hair, or toothpaste, and Drano is not cutting it. You're just creating a small hole for water to go through, and it's gonna get clogged up again really quickly. What you wanna do is get one of these sink plungers. It's gonna create a vortex and push the whole clog out. It's much better for the long-term maintenance of your pipe, because Drano uses a lot of harsh chemicals that can erode things over time. One of these will push the whole clog out and alleviate the problem for a lot longer. And it's also very satisfying to do. Life hacks for your first apartment. When electrical outlets stop working, it can be time-consuming and expensive to fix. So a lot of landlords just cut corners by never fixing them, assuming that you won't notice that they're not working until you've already signed your lease and it's too late. So when you're touring apartments, easy thing to do is bring a phone charger and plug it into all of the outlets to make sure they're all working. Because nothing is worse than moving into your apartment and finding out that the outlets in the bathroom don't work, that you're gonna need an extension cord from the kitchen to blow dry your hair. Hacks for your first apartment. Part 11. When you get your first apartment and start to buy furniture for it, you'll start to realize it really adds up quickly. So getting secondhand furniture from thrift stores or the Facebook Marketplace is a great idea to save some money, but if you do, you need to keep an eye out for little holes like this in the furniture. These holes are made by woodworms, and they're pests that burrow into wood and can be really hard to get rid of. They thrive in damp environments and can't live too long in wood that's been dried out. When you're buying secondhand furniture, keep an eye out for these holes. If you notice that the furniture is stored really poorly, like in a garage with a leaky ceiling, I'd say skip it. These are life hacks for your first apartment. Part 12. When you finish doing your laundry, don't throw out your dryer sheets right away. Dryer sheets are made to pick up all that linen in the dryer, so they work great as makeshift Swiffers too. They're really good at picking up dust and hair and fit onto your Swiffer stuff really easy. But after you do your laundry and before you throw out that dryer sheet, go over the floor and corners in your apartment real quick. It'll look just about spotless. Life hacks for your first apartment. Part 13. If you leave your toothbrush out in the open and you don't close the toilet seat when you flush, you might be brushing your teeth with a little bit of ugh. That's because when you flush the toilet, tiny water droplets that are invisible to the eye get flung up into the air, and they can carry little pieces with them. That's a splash mountain you don't want to ride. When you flush the toilet, close the toilet seat, or at least make sure your toothbrush is out of the splash zone. Life hacks for your first apartment. Part 14. When you're moving out of your apartment, some landlords will do everything they can to make sure they don't have to give you your security deposit back. If a chunk of paint like this is missing from the wall from hanging things up, you can easily fix this. Take a small chip of paint from a dark corner, needs to be a little bit bigger than a dime, and take it to a paint store. They'll have machines there that can very accurately color match the paint and paint over any spots you made, and it'll look like you were never there. Life hacks for your first apartment. Part 15. When you move into your apartment, check for any little holes in the windows, doors, or especially the baseboards. No matter how clean you are, you can't control who you live next to. And if your next door or downstairs neighbor is really messy and experiencing an infestation of bedbugs or cockroaches, they could find their way into your apartment through a hole in the baseboard. If you're an expert, you can seal these up with caulk. It might be worth calling your apartment maintenance and having them seal them up, just so you don't lose your deposit if you try it yourself and mess up. Life hacks for your first apartment. Part 16. Before you sign the lease on your apartment, go to this site, the Bedbug Registry, and look up the address. Bedbugs are pests that are very hard to get rid of. They hide in your bed frames, mattress seams, and dressers during the day, and then come out and bite you at night when you go to sleep. It's costly to get rid of them, and you usually have to throw out all of your furniture. The Bedbug Registry is a self-reported database of bedbug instances, and if the apartment address you're looking at has reports of bedbugs, I would think twice about living there. Life hacks for your first apartment. Part 17. Most landlords will leave your cabinets looking like this because they don't want to pay for nice hardware on the cabinet, but it makes your kitchen look really dry and cheap. You can put holes in the cabinets to install hardware, but that's an almost sure way to lose your security deposit. Instead, cut command strips into pieces like this, and then put them on the back of the hardware you want to use and stick them to the cabinets. They'll look professional like you drilled holes, but when you move out, it's easy to take them right off. Life hacks for your first apartment. Part 18. You're looking for a new apartment? Most landlords will show you units during the afternoon when all your neighbors are at work. So you might think the unit is super quiet, but then the first night after you've already signed the lease, you might find out the person that you share a wall with likes to belt the Wicked soundtrack at 2 a.m. Not that I would know. If you can, request to view the unit in the evening. You can get a better gauge of your neighbors' noise levels, or walk around the buildings on the weekends to make sure that your neighbors aren't throwing ragers. Otherwise, you might regret it, and once you sign the lease, it's too late. Life hacks for your first apartment. Part 19. A lot of apartments have parking garages that are really tight, and if you're parking right next to a wall or pole, and you're even just a tiny bit off on the turn into your spot, might pick up a surprise paint job and a scrape for your car. And that ends up being a lot of money to fix. To avoid this, take a pool noodle, cut a hole in it, tape it, or use a command strip to attach it to the wall. That way, if you do cut the corner a little too close, just bump the pool noodle and save your car's resale value. These are life hacks for your first apartment. Part 20. When you have your first heat wave at your apartment, you might be surprised to see how high your electric bill is. It can cost hundreds of dollars to run the air conditioning to keep your apartment cool in a heat wave. You can save a ton of money by buying the right house plants. Not only do they absorb a ton of heat as it comes through your window, in a process called transpiration, they also emit cool moisture into the air as the room heats up. A study by the USDA estimated that the right house plants can cool your apartment off by 10 degrees. Where was that in Bill Nye? The two best plants for this that are also easy to maintain are snake plants or aloe vera.